in southeast Georgia. High today around 74 degrees. Currently we have 50, let's see here, we have 52, 52 degrees. The Omaha River still rising 10.1 feet and rising. It is now time for the world famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Parker Insurance and Realty on Macon Street in downtown Jessup, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
You awake?
Barely.
Barely. I mean, you had left yesterday. Rode with somebody up there at Thompson. Saw two very good competitive games. And now we're tied for first place in the region with Thompson, aren't we?
But we on the tiebreaker, so that's the good news.
That's the good news. By one run.
By one run.
Yeah, they won by 3, then we won by 4. And so the Jackets went up there and did what they needed to do.
Got the trump card, I guess you'd say. So, said that's the tiebreaker. Just got to take care of business. Got to beat Burke in a doubleheader Friday, beat Liberty next Thursday, and then we'll know we'll be home first and second round of state playoffs at the end of April. So
good. And because Bob said we've got the Trump card does not mean an endorsement for Donald Trump. That's just a term he used.
That's just this expression. I'm not a Trump man.
I know. Everybody's got their own. That's what's so good about living in a country where you can vote and support who you want to and don't have to go with just one particular party.
He scares me.
He scares you, Bob. He scares you.
He's reality TV.
Well, in a sense, the media made the guy. Yeah, and now they want him gone.
That's Johnson's guy. I just said
but then,
Johnson,
but the liberal media really don't like Cruz. But they're stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
I don't like Cruz either, so I'm not real happy right now with the choices. But
we'll see what happens, Bob.
We'll see what happens at the
convention.
We'll see
what happens. Yeah.
I'll see how it plays out. I'm not really worried about it.
Well, they'll all be coming together at the convention, sing Kumbaya, and then they'll have their candidates, and they'll go at each other August, September, October, and into November.
Like I told you many times, I'm not big into politics. Don't really care about politicians, so don't have that famous joke. How do you know politicians lie and his lips are moving? So that's just basically the way I look at them. So
somebody's calling. Sorry, can't answer the phone. I'm on live.
Somebody says, "What do you worry about?" Well, I say, "I worry about Georgia's going to have a good football season. Worry about my Pirates baseball season. There's things I got time to worry about.
That's things you worry about.
My NCAA basketball bracket was blown up.
Blown up, smithereens.
Those are things I worry about. I don't have time to worry about all that other mess.
Yeah. Well, you got people who worry about it, and other people who worry about sports.
I like watching that. It's entertaining. It's definitely reality TV. This presidential race.
Oh boy,
it's entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's amazing how our country has developed into a two-party system. Some countries have 3 or 4 parties, and then they have to form a coalition, and they have a prime minister and all that kind of stuff. But we've developed into a two-party system for a long time. The Libertarians have tried to put a candidate out there, but never can make that much impact.
I said, I think New York's next, Philadelphia, all those states up there. And Trump's expected to do well in New York, so we'll see how it all plays out. But it's just interesting to watch.
Well, Hillary pretty well gave up on Wisconsin, and she's been campaigning in her home state of New York for the past week or so. So she knew what the polls said there, so she wants to make sure she can shore up her home state there.
She's still running from the FBI, so we'll wait and see if they indict her. So
I don't know. The Clinton political machine is so powerful, for many reasons. Years of experience, having a former president part of it, the foundation they're involved with that has brought in hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. As we pretty well know that money talks. So.
It talks pretty big because you listen to everybody on TV. They said if it's anybody else, they'd be indicted already. So, since it's the Clintons, they seem to have a pass. So, and people just, I'm determined to see the lady win the White House, and she seems to be the chosen one by many. So, in the Democratic Party anyway. So, we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, it's fun to watch. Interesting. Bernie Sanders still out there going all the way. So, one thing about it, nobody's giving up.
No one's giving up.
Kasik's still out there saying he's got a chance to win. So
we'll see. Kind of a broker convention there. If none of them gets the amount,
they're throwing all kinds of names out there. it's interesting to watch. But I said I just flipped the channel, so I watched for about 5 minutes, and I go back to the NFL Network.
Then you go back to
I go back where I can understand I go back to my world.
Yeah. Well, Clinton would do better. Hillary would do better if folks. She just has this reputation out there with a lot of folks that she's not a very friendly person, or she's not trustworthy. And I guess it's because of all the problems the Clintons had through the years, and that seems to be a lot of her problems. But they do have that political machine, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens with it all. And Donald just came out of nowhere. No one really thought that he would do as well as he has. He keeps putting his foot in his mouth with some comments that just seem to be off the wall sometimes, and I think that's been hurting him a little bit lately. I'll be interested to see if he can kind of reel himself back in and stick to the issues and stop with these rants.
It's just fun to watch all the theories, all the people on TV. I mean, there's people saying he really doesn't want to be president. He's just, just doing this for fun. Yeah, I
don't think you'd be doing that. No.
The stuff you see and stuff you hear. I mean, it's just crazy. But I said it's entertaining, fun to watch. But I said I will turn off for about 5 minutes, and I flipped the channel back to my world. So,
but the second most amount of money spent in Wisconsin was by the PAC that is hashtag Never Trump or No Way Trump or something like that. That there's this big PAC out there that is just basically anybody but Trump, and they're spending millions of dollars in these attack cam ads. And it's a shame because people will look at it and think, "Oh God, that's got to be true. It's on TV or it's on radio, or it's on the newspaper or magazine or internet." No, they don't have to. They don't have to tell the 100% truth. It can be off the wall.
Yeah, a couple of things I love about Trump though. He's spending all his own money. Like I say, he's not looking for anybody's money,
he will eventually,
which is unique, and he doesn't want lobbyists involved, which is a good thing. So some of the things I like about him. But
there's several things I like about him. There's other things that you just wonder about him sometimes.
But he had a bad week last week.
Yeah. He just kept putting his foot in his mouth and saying off the wall things. It's just if you're gonna put yourself in the top position there like that, you've got to act a little bit like you're the leader in presidential.
They keep saying he's going to act more presidential, but apparently he hasn't gotten that down yet. He's still off the wall.
Well, he's been used to doing what he wants to do when he wants to do it most of his life.
He's too busy firing people. You're fired.
You're fired. You're out of here. But it is American politics at its worst or best, or however you want to take a look at it. I just sit back and watch the show and listen and take everything with a grain of salt, and just take a look at the, because no matter who becomes president, or whoever becomes a candidate on the Democrat side, whoever becomes a candidate on the Republican side, will have to, in a sense, follow their party's platform. So you really have to take a look at which party is the one that best reflects your values, your beliefs, your way of looking at government, and the different things that you want to see happen in the country.
But I don't think Trump's going anywhere. Like I said, if they try to take the nomination away from him, I think it's going to be chaos. So it'll be interesting. Plus, he can always run as an independent if he wants to. So it's entertaining to watch. It's interesting to see it all. But it's just watching all the talking heads explode. It's just fun to watch because they're just freaking out. They just can't grasp it.
Yeah, they can't grasp it.
Because they're already diehards. Just are like, do we really want to embrace this guy, or are we just going to try to run away? They can't figure that out. So.
It's amazing. You've got three candidates here who are really ones that are very polarizing. Ted Cruz is very polarizing, even the Republican Party. You got Donald, of course. Everyone knows how polarizing he is, and then you got Bernie Sanders, who's basically an independent type guy, very liberal and proud of it. And so you got three folks in there who are non-really traditional type of candidates, and they're the ones that are doing very well. Hillary's basically the only mainstream one in there that most people consider a mainstream long-term politician. Even though Bernie has been, but still, you've never had a person who's basically gone there and said, "I'm liberal, I'm progressive, I'm almost a socialist in a sense, and I'm proud of it, and that's the platform I want to push." And most of them would try to hide that, but not him.
In my opinion, politics is hitting all-time low with all the name calling and the Viet and the craziness. I mean, it's just been crazy. Lion Ted, Little Rubio. I mean, it's just named after
I
names.
know.
After
They act
name.
like a bunch
I
of
mean,
middle school kids, don't they?
I told my sister, I said, please don't let my nieces and nephews watch this stuff because it's not good.
He started it. No, you started it. Remember that one?
I saw an old time person who's followed politics for years, and he was just embarrassed. He's like, what are we doing? I mean, it's in the gutter. It's just name calling. It's finger pointing. It's just embarrassing is what it is. So.
We'll go back to the late 1700s and all the way through the 1800s and see some of the things that the candidates called each other. Of course, it wasn't as well known back then because you didn't have television, you didn't have radio, you didn't have internet. So whatever they said on the courthouse steps pretty well stayed around the courthouse steps unless it got printed in a newspaper somewhere. But then it was mainly local. But they used to call each other some pretty bad names back then, but it was more of a local thing because you didn't have the mass media like you do today.
It's just down in the 5th grade level.
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
It's just embarrassing to watch. I said that's why I can't watch it for long, for 5 minutes. Just can't take it.
Some of the folks in other countries got to be shaking their heads. What is going on there in America? They're supposed to be the leader of the free world. Look at these bozos out there. But that's the politics of a lot of countries, though. It's just the way it is. You got parties out there who want their candidate in there, and right now the parties are choosing their candidate, and so they're doing whatever they can to become the candidate of their party. All right, let's see here. You said the Wayne County varsity baseball team is back in action Friday, you said?
Friday, go to Burke.
Yeah, no spring break for the boys this week, are they?
No, 5 games in 5 days again, so, another doubleheader, but an important doubleheader. And I said, got to win these games against Burke and Liberty to wrap up the number 1 seed officially. So, but it was good to get out to Thompson after that first loss. I mean, it was just how they would respond, plus all the craziness that happened. Player got tossed for no reason, and fan yelling at our player. I mean, it was just a policeman on the field. I mean, it was just.
Oh, come on, fans. It's just a bunch of kids out there playing a game.
Craziness.
Lighten up.
Craziness yesterday, so thankfully law enforcement calmed it all down. So thanks to Donnie Ray. Glad Donnie was there. So
there you go, Donnie. He's the man.
But it was just, I don't know why they got to get thrown out. I mean, why adults think they have the right to yell at kids on the field, I don't get that. But
so who got kicked out?
They tossed one of our players out.
For what?
And they said he didn't get back in the dugout in time, or maybe he didn't really do anything, didn't say anything, didn't hit anybody, just the person was from the stands was yelling at him. I mean, that's who should have got tossed, but they didn't toss that person out. So
he must have been very influential there in the community.
It got crazy there in top of 7th, the game won. But
who knows what was on.
The good news is we got out of there with a split. The good news is we got the 1-run lead over there win. So they beat us by 3. We beat them by 4. That's the first tiebreaker. So it all turned out. I don't even think half the Thompson fans realized that they didn't win the region title yesterday. I had to inform them that we had the upper hand. They didn't.
Oh, okay. They didn't know what was going on.
They were congratulating their kids on the region championship. I said, you didn't win the region championship. We've got the
Oh, boy. They must not have someone like you, Bob, to inform them there on the radio there in town.
I went ahead and informed them that we have the upper hand. They don't. So.
Okay.
But it's a good, beautiful day for baseball, though.
Yeah, gorgeous day yesterday. Going to be a gorgeous day today. But we'll have some clouds moving in tonight and tomorrow morning.
That's what Jonathan said. It's going to rain later today.
Yeah.
When they're forecasting Augusta, big week in Augusta, the par 3 contest today. So Thursday through Saturday. So it should be fun. See how that turns out. First major of the year. A lot of anticipation. Who's going to win? So Tiger is there, but he's chipping and putting, but he's not playing competitive golf. So. Interesting article in Sports Illustrated. If anybody gets Sports Illustrated to cover what happened to Tiger Woods, it's a 8-page article about theories of what's wrong.
He worked out too hard. He thought he was an athlete that just needed to work out all the time, and he used to talk with other athletes who had to lift weights and do all that kind of stuff about kind of reps they got, and he wore his body out.
Yeah, well, the consensus is that he was dead set on becoming a Navy SEAL and went into all this training, went to Fort Bragg and places like that, and did Navy SEAL training, and they said that's where he just absolutely destroyed his body. So I don't know if that's what he believes, but that's what this article insinuates, that he just, all that training, all that workout, all that running, just did more damage than good for his golf game. So, but see if he ever does get back to playing competitive golf, if he ever does win another major. And it's just amazing. He just, he was the face of golf for many years, won major after major after major. Now he's just fallen off the face of the earth when it comes to the golf game. I mean, he hasn't been out there several years.
Yeah. Well, you see that with a lot of the athletes that have to use their body so much, like basketball players. They were talking about that on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday, about some of these old basketball players that have a hard time getting around because of all that running and jumping and working out. And of course, we know about football players. It's just, it takes a toll on the body. You have to use that body so hard in your teens, 20s, and 30s that when you get on up in age, that it just you start hurting.
I think when his ex-wife hit that 9 upside his head, he's done some damage to his head. That's what I think.
9 iron to the noggin. 9 iron to the noggin.
I think the Thanksgiving night he'll never forget. So.
Yeah, 9 iron to the noggin.
They say all the time, if you could turn back time, he probably sings that song. If he could turn back time, and change that Thanksgiving night, things would be a lot different. So. Yeah. But it's just an interesting article. If you have Sports Illustrated, like I said, he's only covered. It's a very interesting article, very, very in depth. Talks to a lot of people. Talks to his former swing coach. Talks to his former caddy, things like that. And they give all their opinion on what they think. That's when he really started changing for Tigers, when he had this obsession that he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. When like I said, he went to military training and did all the training that SEALs do, and they just said that just kind of changed his whole body physique and changed his golf swing, and then he just started changing his golf swing. But that's the craziest thing. You're listen to Randall Chambly and those guys on the Golf Channel. The guy won all those majors. Why would you change your golf swing? It's like a home runner here. If you're hitting home run after home run, why would you change?
Why would you change? I have no idea, Bob.
But for some reason, athletes like to tinker, like to change things, and that's the way Tiger was. He's always changing things. So,
Well, just worked out too hard, listening to our AM station, AM 1370 The Buzz, especially with Dan Patrick and Jim Rome and all the guys there. They give you insights. And I know Dan Patrick's interviewed a lot of folks that Tiger Woods used to work out with, or they compare their workouts and stuff like that. And, a golfer just doesn't need to do that. I mean, he should look at the guy that he was trying to beat, Jack Nicklaus, and you didn't see Jack doing all that.
Another sad story in Augusta. This will be the first time in many years that Arnold Palmer's not able to do this ceremony, the first tee shot on the first green. So
who's going to be the first pairing?
I think Nicklaus and Gary Player are still gonna. Do it. I'm not sure if they get anybody else or not. Maybe they can let Tiger hit the first tee shot. Since he's not playing competitive golf, we'll see what they do. But it's just going to be sad that Arnold can't do it. Arnold's there, but he just can't, hit the first tee shot. So. He's limited to his golf cart and his wheelchair right now, so he's having some physical issues. But it's good that he's still there. But for years and years, that was the he was people went to Augusta on that
Arnie's Army.
Yeah, they went Thursday just to see that. So I had a chance one year to see that. I mean, that was worth seeing. Those three guys, but and they used to play together in the par 3 tournament today. So but be interested to see who that third person is in that threesome. I said it was always Nicklaus, Player, and Palmer for many years. So I'm not sure who's going to play with them today. So
what's the next oldest guy out there? Here's somebody just text this in. Remember, if you ever have a question or comment for us here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show, you can text it in at 912-427-3711. 427-3711. You got to text it. The text is, Bob, when Tiger's wife was asked by the police how many times she hit him with the iron, she said, "Put me down for a 3."
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good right there. That's funny. I don't care who you are. We appreciate that person sending that in. All right. Well, you said the Jessup City Council met last night. They're buying some hardware, huh?
Thanks to Mary sent me the bids. Like I said, I wasn't able to get there. I was on my way back from Thompson.
Some vehicles.
They bought 3 police vehicles. They bought a, let's see what all they
What kind of police vehicles?
Coffee Chrysler.
Yeah. Chrysler what?
It's just, I don't know.
Okay,
it just says
Chrysler.
It says 3 police cars from Coffee Chrysler for $23,375 each.
Probably Chargers.
So, buying 2 garbage trucks. They're in the process of doing that, and improve some drainage for Orange Street and South Macon Street, $22,733. So
yeah, you said about fire truck?
They bought a fire truck.
Oh, okay.
$140,000.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A fire rescue truck for the fire department.
Okay, well, good. Just great. And they got
this last night.
And you said they're going to go back to 1 meeting a month because they just don't have enough business for 2 meetings a month.
That's the consensus. They've had many meetings where they just canceled due to lack of agenda items, so they feel that they don't need to meet 1 time a month instead of 2 times a month. So
okay,
that was good news for me.
That's good news for you. You said, yeah, go, just 1.
Yeah, that's 1 less meeting I got to go to. So
that's right. Well, we'll just find something else when you do that.
That's the best news I heard.
Oh boy! Yeah, the Masters beginning tomorrow. Just a great place. Just looking at the weather for down here, I'm sure it's going to be similar up there. They may have some clouds there in the morning on Thursday morning, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are just looking gorgeous right now. So that'd be great if they had, Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with just beautiful sunshine, spring weather at the Augusta National. It don't get any better than that, Bob.
And like I said, they televised the par 3 contest today. If you've never seen that, it's always fun to watch. So ESPN televised that, I think, around 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's just fun to watch the par 3 contest. And of course, the tradition is anybody who's ever won a par 3 contest has never gone on to win the Augusta National. So some players don't want to win it, so they just kind of avoid.
Yeah, they shake the putt. I mean, the shot or miss the putt on purpose.
A lot of them are superstitious. They believe in that. So
athletes are some of the most superstitious people out there.
But that's a fun thing to watch. You'll see a lot of hole-in-ones today. So they should have a good day for it. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. So just a gorgeous place. I said, I know you've been there. I said, most golf fans have been there. Just a beautiful place.
Gorgeous. And you see all these other. If you've gone to the Augusta National and watched the Masters, I mean, once you get in there, it's its own world. Okay, you don't see anything else. It's nothing but the Augusta National and the pine trees and the beautiful fairways and all that. And you watch all these other golf tournaments, and you can see the tall buildings somewhere. You can see the roads out there, the houses and stuff like that. So, to me, it's just a little slice of heaven on earth right there. It was a nursery eons ago before it came a golf course, and it's just it's amazing.
Yeah, as nice as it looks on TV, you really just have to see it in person because you don't realize how hilly it is. And, but it's just fun.
It is hilly.
And the great thing is the sandwiches are still the same price as they were for years. So
it's a family. It's a family up there.
They don't really rip you off.
That's
one thing I liked about Augusta. Concession stands. You go to these ballparks and hot dogs are $10, $12.
Well, the reason why is they bid them out. But Augusta National, they don't. They've had the same family do that for years, and they keep the prices low.
They kept the same price for many, many years. So it's nice to go and be able to get a nice sandwich and drink for not get ripped off.
Right, and the wrappers are light green, so if you do happen to drop it accidentally or blow somewhere, it doesn't. It's not a white thing sitting out there. It's a light green. But that same family's been doing the concessions up there for years and years and years and years, and so they don't have to compete. All these other places like football fields and football stadiums and baseball and all that, you have people compete for it, bid for it. And so they have to put the prices real high because they bid for it.
And they kept the old scoreboards. They still have people have to put up the numbers, all that. So they've never gone to the electronic scoreboard. People say, well, just go to electronic scoreboards. Maybe it's so much easier. They just like the tradition.
Tradition. It's tradition.
It's a great place.
Yep. If you're going to see a golf tournament, that's the one to see right there. But then it's very hard to get a ticket there. It's hard to get in there these days. And so if you want to see a good golf 4 days or 1 day or whatever the case may be, go to Hilton Head. That's a beautiful golf course there. It's a lot more laid back, but still it's easy to get in and a fun place to watch it.
Yes, I didn't realize we were Thompson. I didn't realize we were that close to Augusta.
Yeah, you're very close.
Some guy was on the corner with a big sign said "Need tickets." I was like, "What's he need tickets for?" So I said, the Masters."
The Masters.
I said, "Okay."
Our whole place shuts down up there during this week. They have spring break up there for all the schools up there in the Augusta. Of course, I lived over in Aiken, South Carolina, which is right across the river there in South Carolina for 12 years. And everything basically shuts down. I had a pharmacist friend up there who every single he had 4 tickets he's had forever, and that was back in the 80s. Okay, he would rent out his house, provide a housekeeper, and made good money on that house and those 4 tickets.
Yeah, I know several people in Augusta do that. They go on vacation, they rent their house out, and make pretty good money. So everybody's looking for a place to stay for the weekend. So
yeah, and the railroad company would bring in travel cars. I don't know what the official name of them are, but it's club car type cars where people can stay in and sleep and all that. They have those for some of the executives up there. Also, the railroad company does that.
I'm picking Jordan Speed to go back to back, so that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I like the kid. I said he had his champions dinner last night, so that's also tradition as well. So again, just a good kid, but hasn't been playing as good as golf as he's played last year. But hopefully he can turn it up this week at Augusta. If he doesn't win, I'd say Phil Mickelson win his 4th and join that elite group of having 4 green jackets. So
Jordan Spieth is Vegas's favorite right now.
Don't tell me that. That's there's a kiss.
There goes the guy. Someone just texted in here. I like to know something. We hear all the time about shop at home, Wayne County. Keep your money here and support local businesses. Why is it the city and the county go out of town to buy city and county vehicles? I have no affiliation with any dealership here. I'm just curious.
They basically do it on a bid basis.
They do it on a bid basis. That's why.
They're dictated by taxpayers to save as much money as they possibly can.
It's in their ordinances or regulations or bylaws. You have to bid stuff out.
And in the past, if a local dealership is close, they do as believe me, the city and county commissioners want to do as much shop at home as they possibly can, but they are stewards of taxpayer dollars, so they're looking to save as much taxpayers dollars as they possibly can. So,
and there are some dealers out there.
Dealerships don't have the vehicles.
That's what I'm saying. Some dealers out there specialize in police vehicles. They can get them at low cost. They know how the equipment they need in it. They stock them. Plus, what do you see most police use these days? It's Dodge Chargers, like it used to be the Crown Vic. But they have to bid them out, and some dealers specialize in that.
I mean, I've been to these conversations for years, and it's gone back and forth. But basically, they go by the police chief's recommendation. What does the police chief think is best for his department? So that's what they go on. I mean, commission, and plus they go by the city manager's recommendation. That's what they do. I mean, but I promise you, many times that discussions come up, and they've tried their best to go with local dealerships, but sometimes local dealerships just don't have the vehicles that they're looking for, or the vehicles that they specify. So,
or anywhere near the same price.
But again,
because of the dealer specializing.
I've seen where the local dealership has been within a certain dollar amount, and they've said, "Look, we're going local because we want to support local businesses." So, that's a good question, but again, that's
the person says that sounds reasonable. Thanks. So now they know.
But
you did a good job explaining about it.
Honestly, I've been through that debate many times, but I promise you, they try their best to buy local if they can.
Right, if they can. All right, any other thing on your mind? Any words of wisdom this morning before we head out of the Butch and Bob Show?
Just, I said, get ready for Friday's trip to Burke. I said, hopefully Wayne County can, solidify this #1 seed and play those games at home. It'd be fun at the end of April to be playing state baseball at home.
Sure would be. All right, Bob. Great games yesterday you broadcast. All right, WIFO-FM in Jessup, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Mike Bridge Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and also brought to you by